3, and it is still the Mobil 1 HRT cars, but Glenn Seaton in the factory Ford is right on their hammer. He is the quickest out there by a mile, and he's down into the 135s now. So from the 137s to the 36s, he has been clearly a second a lap, almost a second a lap quicker than anybody else. So here comes Glenn. We welcome Larry Perkins to the commentary box. Larry, this has been a terrific drive by Glenn Seaton.
Yes, he's right on their tail now, but the hard bit is now, can he get past them? And he's certainly not going to, they're not going to make it easy for him.
Well, a very unsatisfactory weekend for you. Unfortunately, you crunched the car first thing yesterday morning. You're okay physically first up?
Oh, yeah, look, I'm all right, but we had my McDougall car, it's in my stable, it's also crunched, so, yeah, we've had better weekends.
Yeah, just looking the back end of Lowndes' thing was really getting out of shape then. And what do you reckon, Larry? I reckon if Seaton gets right up this behind the two on the fast two left-handers onto the straight, he's going to get enough of a drag to be able to drag past just after the start line.
Well, he could be able, and they've got to drop more power to Fords, and but then the off the line is still wet, and he's going to be a brave bloke to get out there.
He's got to get out. Yeah, you're right.
Well, if you're in Glenn's seat, what would you do? Where would you line these guys up?
Well, I'd get right on their tail and harass them. I'd get a lot closer than that if I could, and swap a bit of paint, you know.
Larry?
Here we go. This is the onboard shot with the Ford Tickford Racing AU XR8 of Glenn Seaton. He is right on Craig Lowndes as they drift through the fastest corner on the track, turn 1, into the southern loop. This is the second turn.
There just almost is round the left-hander before you get to Honda. That dry line is getting wider and wider and wider, so if it really gets right up Lowndes' backside round this, it's just about enough room to get through. Have a look, see down in, so I know you'd have to be brave because it's still wet.
You can see the water on the inside of the track. You can't give it a go there, but he can only harass them and they may make a mistake.
Larry, if we stay with Glenn here on the in-car camera, you might like to talk us around a lap.
Well, Glenn's obviously in high concentration mode there, just come out of third in the fourth gear in a minute. And this is a very high-speed part of the track. This was a very bumpy corner. I believe it's fixed now. But now they've just touched 235 kilometres an hour there before they get on the brakes. Back to a fourth gear and over the hill here. That's about 165 kilometres an hour. And then down into the hairpin, which is about 80 k's. Now, out of here, you can't use full power here, so they've got to feed it on very gently and not hang the back out. Full throttle is really on it now, and again, a lift off on the throttle now, but you can't go into that flat. But see the ground Glenn's made up there, so he's got something better there. Full throttle all the way down here. Flat throttle gear changes, and yesterday in practice, I know Russell was getting 255 down that straight. Now, this corner is a real man's corner. 230 is full speed. Their fastest corner in Australia, and it isn't for the faint-hearted.
Well, there you go. A lap from Larry Perkins on board with Glenn Seaton, and this is close. You couldn't ask for it to be any closer.
I tell you where Seaton was quick, was round the left-hander, but just going up just before Lukey Heights. It seemed to be quick round by the hay shed and made a lot of ground going up by Lukey Heights.
That's right. What I've always suspected, he might have a drop more downforce, which is he's certainly put into best use.
Well, Glenn Seaton right on Craig Lowndes. Now, we've had word through that Paul Radisich has had a spin. Now, this is coming down into MG. Tander's on the inside, and whack, contact there. Around they go. So whether Radisich didn't see Tander making the inside move, Larry, what do you make of that?
Well, I better not get too into these stunts, but in any shunt there's always two sides to it, but the bottom line is they've both sort of lost a lot of spots.
Up over the top of Lukey Heights, there is no doubt that Ford are making ground in their development of this new AU XR8, and Glenn Seaton in the factory Ford, the FTR, Ford Tickford Racing team, they have made a heap of ground. They haven't exactly had a terrific amount of test and development time, but they're making bit by bit, round by round. And speaking of rounds, our next showing is in Darwin at Hidden Valley. We look forward to that.
Closer now.
Yeah, Seaton's right there. I think Lowndes may sometimes there be getting a bit held up by Mark, but Mark's keeping a cool head, and he knows that nothing stupid will come from Lowndes.
Well, also, too, if you look at it from the team perspective, Scaife needs these points. Lowndes is doing it quite comfortably at the moment.
Well, Mark's a racer, he wants to win, but a lot of ground made up on that particular corner now from Lowndes, and gee, the car's handling nice, so look at the way it's beautifully balanced, and
driving by Mark Scaife today. He's got his teammate right behind him. They're coming up on Rod Nash in the Budweiser Auto Pro car. Rod gives him a little bit of room on the inside there through Honda. Can Seaton do it? We're 2.5 laps from home. Round into Siberia. Word from the pits is Jason Bright has spun. Here's the replay for you.
Out in the dirt, out in the wet. That's all it is, really.
Well, that's the second time Bright has spun there. That's on the top end of the circuit. He went off there in race 1. Didn't quite make the sand trap this time.
There's no hope, is there, Larry? Once you get out in the little bit that doesn't get used.
Once you're out there, it's all over and you start cursing yourself.
Top 10 behind this threesome here. Faulkner is maintaining 4th from Ingle, Longhurst. That's a good drive by Tony to get up to 6th.
Yes, he has sneaked up there. I don't know where he started on the grid, but he's doing something right.
Longhurst started back in 15th, so that's quite a commendable drive. Murphy is up into 7th. That's good work also.
This looks promising. You've got to be very brave there, Larry, haven't you?
Well, Glenn's right there, but he can't pull out on the inside. The line's wet, and at 200, well, at the top speed, at 270, he's not going to do anything silly.
Yeah, it looks like he got a little bit loose there because he's lost a bit of ground.
Good drive by Seaton. And valuable points in the bag with less than 2 laps remaining. The Mobil 1 Holden Racing Team Commodores' Lounge hugs that inside line. He's going to make life very difficult for Glenn Seaton. Seaton a good car length and a half behind as they come into Honda for the second last time.
When you look at it, Larry, I mean, there just doesn't seem anywhere, does there? You know, if you'd have to have a guess anywhere, I just can't think of anywhere.
Well, that's right, and you've got Mark, who's got the hardest job of all those three there. He's leading, and he has the utmost concentration. When you're following, like Lowndes and indeed Seaton, it's a lot easier job, and they're really putting the pressure on Mark, and he's responding by just driving absolutely accurately.
What do you prefer, Larry? I mean, obviously everyone loves to be out in front, but do you prefer to be a fighter from behind, or you like doesn't faze you either way?
Well, to be honest, I haven't been out in front for a while. I would never trade the front spot for anywhere else, so let's put it that way.
But it's just so much easier to follow, isn't it? You know,
it is. Look, it's a much easier task following, and so say the concentration level that Mark's now applying just to make sure he doesn't make it blue is intense. And the hardest part of any racing, when you've got real good guys right up on your bumper like that.
One more lap left in race 2 here at Phillip Island. This is the view from the rear of Mark Scaife's car, looking at teammate and series leader Craig Lowndes. Then in the background there is Glenn Seaton in the Ford Tickford Racing XR8.
Yeah, Glenn looks like he's lost a bit of ground there.
Yes, I think Glenn might have thought, well, I've tried for 4 or 5 laps, couldn't do it. Maybe I'll just go for some points on them. Well, he's got back again there right now, so...
Coming up on some of the slower traffic, I think it's Gary Baxter there coming up on who moves aside and gives them plenty of room as they're on their way home. Scaife well on the way to making it a perfect day, 2 from 2 after not starting from pole position. He started the day in 6th, so it's been good driving by Scaife, especially in race 1 in adverse conditions.
Glenn's right back there really with him, but he just can't...
There's just nowhere, is there, really? There's just absolutely no chance. See, even if somebody, you get held up through here, like Scaife gets held up through here, there's just nowhere for Glenn to sort of nip through. You can't leap over sort of Lukey Heights and then the inside, you'd really go off someone's
You can't put your feet or your wheels on some of that wet bitumen either, because that's your recipe for...
Oh, he was going to have a go.
But he was, the guy's covered ahead, and he...
Oh, hang on a second. Now, did he get through on the inside? No.
No. Bob Thorne there in the second of the Super Cheap Autos cars. Well, life is made very difficult there for a moment, but it's not difficult for this guy. Mark Scaife will make it 2 starts, 2 wins at Phillip Island. Well done to the Mobil 1 HRT driver. A good win there. It was close second for Craig Lowndes, and Glenn Seaton in the Ford Tickford Racing AU will make 3rd. There is the man who has cleaned them up today so far. Still 1 race left to go. Larry, good drive.
Yes, no, Mark never put a foot wrong, and he really had to concentrate there. And
Greg Murphy.
Oh, boy.
Now, did he... what's happened here? We haven't
It
got
looks
much
like
traction.
Oh, just locked her up. And
Standalone error by the look of it, unforced. He'll be cursing himself over
Oh,
that.
absolutely, on the last lap.
He was well placed too in the top 10. He was in sixth position. So after all the hard work, let's hope Greg can get out of the grass there. Well, Larry, this is the team to beat this year, no doubt. And when they look at Holden teams, it's the Mobil 1 team and your team as the top-running Holden teams. Can you guys beat these guys this year?
Well,
Can anyone beat them?
I tell you, we've all been trying to beat them, but we've got to be honest, we haven't. And they're continuing on their merry way. The competition is getting closer, like Glenn is right there with them. And, you know, we're now only tenths behind, not seconds. But you know, they've done a good job. We have to match it.
Well, let's have a look at your Shell Helix race score. With a dry, or I guess you could say mixed conditions. Scapin Lowndes, the 1-2, Seaton, a very good drive. Faulkner consistent ahead of Ingle. Longhurst, Bow and Richards. We look back further. Tander, Johnson, Romano. Now, if you're someone into extreme sports and extreme rides, you'll like this.
Well, the Mobil Holden Racing Team Commodore domination continues, but I tell you what, these Fords are getting closer and closer every race. Glenn, fantastic drive. You really are getting closer, aren't you?
We are, Mark, and there's no doubt out there then with only one dry line, it's pretty hard to pass. But Jesus, I'm starting to really feel confident about catching these blokes because, geez, I really thought, well, I had their measure out there then, and I think they were going pretty hard because they looked like they were. But there's still a long way to go. There's still, hopefully, the next race will be completely dry, and then we can give them a run for their money. But they're still doing a good job, and we're slowly nibbling away, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, congratulations. I know there's a lot of Ford fans out there who'll be happy with today's performance. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Part of the track do you least like?
Probably the fast left-hander before Honda corner because the runoff area there is not enough and it's quite dangerous.
There's not a lot of runoff, and most of the runoff is just grass and then an earth bank or tyres, and that doesn't really turn us on a lot.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that it's in freezing Victoria.
I guess past the hay shed in 96. The hay shed there and across the way of Lukey Heights is, I guess, as I've proven that if you put a foot wrong, you can actually end up quite badly into the wall.